Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Appreciate you stopping by. If you're a new viewer, this is a flip of my daily Fauxbonichi journal. And for those of you that are returning, I appreciate you coming back. This is where we left off last time. Actually, I didn't cover this page last time. This was mostly about a storm that we had this week. It rained the whole week and it stormed. And so I kind of just mixed all my little distress inks together and made a kind of a stormy looking background, I hope. And I'm not sure if you can see in here, but this tree, lightning struck it and like just sheared the bark off the tree all the way, like peeled it like when you peel a cucumber or a carrot or something, just sliced it right off the tree. Fortunately, that was a neighbor's and not my house, and gladly it hit the tree and not their house. But anyway, so that's what that's about. I used these cute little notepad things that I got off of Pinterest somewhere. Can't remember where. This is a thank you note from a cleaning service I had started using. My regular cleaner had to go away and take care of a sick parent, so I'm using them while she was gone. Anyway, moving on. So here's a 5 on Friday. That's why this is a watermelon page, because that's what it was about. It's basically all about watermelons. So I used up some stickers that I had. I have some kitty stickers, and I used those up. And here's a little tag I made with my new little tiny attacher. I just love that little Tim Holtz tiny attacher. If you don't have one, and if you've been thinking about getting one, I recommend it. I mean, it's not like I use it every day, but it makes such a difference in not having to glue everything down. And you just, just use the little tiny attacher. Most of the time, if you place the staple right, you can't see it at all. And even if you can see it, it's just so much smaller. I guess that's where it gets the name. But anyway, then it kind of leaves your pieces free to move around a little bit, which, gives them some dimension and whatever, if you like that kind of thing. Anyway, moving on. This is over the weekend. The boys came to stay with me, and I was actually doing my Friday page on Saturday, which is usually what I do. I do the page the day after. And so they love the 5 on Friday. So they were doing that with me. This is Jackson, the youngest page. And so one of the prompts was, do you like watermelon? And he just put, I like, and had a little watermelon sticker and put an arrow to it. He didn't do all the prompts. He just picked the ones he liked. So I took a picture of it to put in my book. And here is Logan's. He made a little watermelon banner. I think it's so adorable. He like colored the little watermelon shapes and then just made little banner shapes in between it. And I have some little alpha letters. He dug those out and spelled out happy, fun, love. I don't know. They're so cute. I just love them. Anyway, did some stenciling on this, and here's the boys having some lunch. And then they were playing with this Thomas the Train thing that I told them. Oh, they got it last year, year before, I think, for Christmas. And they hardly ever play with it. And I said, do y'all mind if I gather this up and, can we just give it away since y'all never play with it? So then they spent 2 hours playing with it, of course. So it's here for another day. And then I made a little, sorry, I can't really see if I'm in frame. This is a little piece of fabric that I got from Gina at the Bookery when I made my little fabric purchase. So I just stapled it on with my little tiny attacher. Before I was not able to do that. That is so cool. I love it. Stapled that on too with the tiny attacher. This is, over the weekend while the boys were there, Jackson and I made a bunch of jelly prints. So I used that to cover this card. And while we were doing that, Logan made this collage girl, which he said was a monster girl, and gave her a gun. Well, I think she's kick-ass. So anyway, made another little cluster here, which I stapled on with the tiny attacher and then used a little tiny bead to cover it up, the little attacher. Not that you could really see it that much anyway. Another 5 on Friday, that's where the sloth came from and the purple color. This is just like a quirky character type thing. This was inspired by Carolyn Doobie on YouTube. She does a lot of jelly printing stuff and some art journaling and some paint pouring, and she does a lot of different stuff. If you've never watched Carolyn Doobie, you should go and check her out. I love her channel. But anyway, she said basically just take your, it was just a way to use gel print. She said take them, tear them, or cut them in shapes and then try and make something out of it. So that's what I did there. Here I just tried to use a bunch of stickers because I have too many stickers. I think I actually finished a whole sheet that they, this is some jelly print right here that I just tore and used as washi. And then this is just kind of a combination page, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then as it turned out, I realized I had forgotten a lot of things. That's what happens sometimes when I do the combination page. I think nothing went on, and then I looked back through my camera or whatever and realized there was other stuff I wanted to document. I'm not even sure if I actually showed this on the journalers group or not. But anyway, I had a little family of deer over next to my house. There were actually 4 of them. I guess two mamas and 2 babies. Anyway, I happened upon them by accident and didn't realize the babies were there. And the mom, like, basically almost, you know, she got very offensive and kind of started towards me. So I quickly realized that there were babies around, and I rushed back inside and closed the door until they left. Here's a picture of the boys on their first day of school. And then here's the boys doing their schoolwork. Jackson's reading, and Logan is curled up in the chair reading a book. And the background on this is just distressing that I put on. Here's another prompt day, National Thrift Shop Day. So it's just some items that I've gotten from thrift stores. Here I'm talking about that we're going to the beach, my son and his family and I, so I'm really looking forward to that. Here's another Friday. Gosh, man, Fridays come around a lot, don't they? I think I skipped some time during there. But anyway, that's where this came from. It was supposed to use a triangle, so I used this for the triangle. Bunch of more stickers from the boys' stash, which they had not been using. This is a piece of page that I got out of a calendar. I cut that off and made it fit on here. This picture of us at the rest stop on the way. And then this is the first day down there. We went for dinner at this restaurant that it's called Shuck'em's. If you've ever been to Panama City Beach, love it there. The whole inside of the place, like the walls, the ceiling, the posts that hold up the ceiling, I mean, everything is covered with dollar bills. So that's what people do. They color on them or write on them or whatever, and then attach it to the wall. So we did that. Then the rest of this is just a bunch of pictures of us hanging out and a bunch of journaling, a bunch of sunset pictures. I did a little bit of stamping and distressing right there. This is just some paper. I think some paper that I had distressed before I left. I took that with me. And then this, if you saw my last one, you'll recognize this from my last beach trip. I had done these up in advance on a little flyer, just made a little summer beachy pic or page, I should say, and then put some pictures on it. And then I love this one of my son right here. He is in a little flowery kid float, and I took that picture. And that's me with the boys. Here they were making a sandcastle, and then the water started coming in and carved out this little area that looked like a seat. So they said they made themselves a sofa. And we had a storm one day. I don't know if you can see this well, but it's really crazy how the storm went across the water. And I've never actually seen that, because normally when I see a storm, there's a bunch of trees in the way. So anyway, I thought that was a great picture. And then these are just some more little calendar things I was using up. We had a little double rainbow after the storm, and then a beautiful sunset. Some This is from a flyer that I got from the hotel, or not hotel, condo. And then just some more pictures of us hanging out at the beach, going out to dinner. I used part of the menu. It's just a little paper menu from the place we went, Sharky's. We like that too. Oh, here's a little hangy thing I made. I can't remember who I got this from on YouTube, or I would credit their name. I probably have it written in here somewhere, but I'm not going to go through all that. But this one, man, it flies all over the place. I tried to tape it down a little bit. I have to get my little tiny attacher out, but it like just swings all over the place. Anyway, just some more beach pictures. I took a map from one of the fold outs and just put where we were and just wrote some other stuff about it. Sunset, and a little distance chart from these different places to the beach. So I put that Atlanta was the top one on here. It was 297 miles to Panama City. More beach pictures. Love this picture of the boys. And then this was our last day, or actually I guess the day before was the last day. This was our drive back on September 1st. And I am going to stop here, but since this is about the beach, I'm going to go ahead and pull these out. These are just some extra pictures that, you know, didn't make it into the album, or didn't make it into the book, but I wanted to. The boys always like to make crazy faces. I took an envelope, if you can see, here's the background right here from the envelope. I took an envelope, collaged some more, like I tore things out of the little flyers and brochures and made a little pocket. And then this, I used my, not distress inks, I can't remember, can't think, like, darn, I can't think of what they're called, but you know, they're water-soluble crayon things. And so I kind of tried to make this mirror the colors on this. And I did okay, but not great. But anyway, so that's it on that. I'm going to stop there. And I hope you enjoyed taking a look through my Fauxbonichi. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them. Oh, I forgot to show this too. I took like some seashells. The boys had gathered some seashells, and I just took a paper clip and I glued one to each side and used that as a little placeholder, bookmark, whatever you call it. Anyway, I digress. So if you would just leave me a comment, I would really appreciate it. If you have any questions, if you want to hit the like button, but I really do appreciate the comments. So I would love it if you would leave me one. Thanks so much for joining me.